everyone, Suzi here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we have dev insights and some pretty interesting Forerunner server news to go over. Oh wait, but first we need to pick some more winners for another giveaway. So I have another giveaway I'm gonna do soon. It doesn't stop, guys. I try. But now we have 2 accounts to give away that I talked about in this video here. So winners are gonna be picked. Let's take a look. Guys, I was about to load the giveaway and I just like, let me do a tempo to try to get the epic. And I accidentally get a hot set. Bruh. Giveaway winners are not picked. This is me accidentally pulling a hot set. Can I at least get Phelan in the 10 pull as well? Is my hot set a 5? No. Bruh. So I did 1 10 pull, got all rares. I'm like, let me just do one more. I got Esme, who's a poisoner, but I want the new poisoner. But I don't have enough summons for that. I just freaking hit a pity, didn't I? Don't tell me I was at pity and I should have waited. No, okay. So that was just a very cheap 20 pulls, get a hot set. So I really can't complain, but that's hilarious. I just accidentally A5'd my hot set. Is that what? Yes! Oops. Accidentally A5'd my hot set. That will help in Guild War. I will take it. Okay, now for real, we're gonna do a random number picker between 2 and 61. Now that is because here on the spreadsheet I have pulled in people from the YouTube, or from the Google Forms submission, which I required in order to enter, where people have to put in which account they want, and then put in what your name shows on YouTube and how you'd like me to contact you. So this starts from column 2 to column 61. So we're gonna pick for account number 1 first and see what that number is. 7, lucky number 7. All right, so that would be RJDX4. RJARJAY. So they said they're happy to win both, so perfect. I will add you to the winners list, and I will check that email and send you one later if you're watching this. All right, now account number 2, which was the one with Praetus and Valderon. Number 48, okay. Scroll down. Bin28, and they also said to contact them via email. All right, so I will email you as well so we can get the switch sorted. It's a quirky one because you have to be really quick with sending stuff, so it's hard not to do it via Discord, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, and they said happy to win both, so you guys have won the account giveaway. Now, Forerunner server patch notes are huge. I haven't even read them myself yet. I've just seen everybody else's thumbnails and titles, and well, we know what's coming, and it's big, and this is really good. So this is the server that is not the test server. It is more of a a pre-launch server that continued, that operates kind of like a test server, but it's more of a open to everybody whenever the hell they recruit kind of thing. So we have Numera getting a buff, an adjustment, a whole redo, which is really exciting because she sounded terrible, to be blunt, and they're already fixing. Maybe this is why they haven't released her. So if you don't remember who Numera was, she is a hero that was added forever ago, back before we had that really long Apple Store delay. She looks like she'd be like Iovar's wife or something, I guess. And yeah, she added to the Isoteria order as well as, what is she? I don't know what her order is now. Anyway, it's fine. So let's just read her adjustments. Hero skill reset, talent adjustment, innate gains 1 Grimthorn spike with a basic attack. This effect can stack up to 4 Grimthorn spikes. When granted 4 Grimthorn spikes, each basic attack has a 50% chance to launch 1 extra Grimthorn spike, dealing 400% damage, inflicting 1 stack of poison on the target for 10 seconds, and restoring 40 rage. Nature's Wrath adjustment immediately gains 2 extra Grimthorn spikes and rapidly launches all Grimthorn spikes to random enemies in range after charging for a short period. Each spike dealing up to 520% damage and inflicting 1 stack of poison for 10 seconds. Poisonwood Branch adjustment. Grimthorn spikes fired during the ultimate inflict an extra stun for up to 1.5 seconds. When at least 4 spikes hit the same target within a short time, triggers up to 50% Toxic Surge damage stack 1 time. Toxic Surge adjustment consumes the target's poison stacks up to 30 stacks and deals magic damage by a certain percentage based on the number of consumed stacks. Nature's Grasp adjustment. Each Grimthorn spike inflicts Grimthorn roots on the enemy and reduces their damage by up to 30% for 6 seconds. And Grimthorn Root adjustment deals continuous true damage equal to 30% of the caster's attack per second, stacking up to 6 times. Cannot be dispelled. I feel like they're trying to make poison a thing. We have the new Poison Epic, and now they are balancing, adjusting Numera to probably finally release her to the global servers soon as well. And they're going to see how this adjustment goes on Forerunner first. And they also got her Awakenings adjusted. Ignores 20% of magic resistance when attacking enemies. This effect increases by an extra 5% each time the ultimate is cast, up to 25% increase for Awaken 1. Awaken 3 increases damage by 25% during the ultimate, and Grimthorn Spikes and Toxic Surge will guarantee crit hits when dealing damage. So I wonder, will her kit be the kind of kit where you need to add 0 crit rate if you have her Awaken 3? Is this all happening enough to where that's all you're worried about? Or do you need to consider the basic attacks are super important too? I guess it depends on how often these things are happening, which we're going to have to take a deeper look at now that her kit's been adjusted. But Awaken 5 heals the hero for 20% of true damage dealt by Grimthorn Roots. That's some big self-sustain. I like to see that. Okay, so big adjustment for Numera. Sounds awesome. It sounds like they're trying to make poison be a thing as well. And with Isoteria Order, that is where our new Phelan Epic Hero is a part of as well. So if I remember right, pretty sure. Yeah, and that is interesting to see that she'll stack well with another Poisoner because it consumes the target's poison stacks. So it doesn't mean she's applying them. It could just mean that consuming any poisons that anyone has applied. My baby is crawling around in her bed like crazy when she should have been sleeping like 2 hours ago. Today's bouncy trick did not work. Okay, anyway, Lyra, the Cosmic Seer, optimized the visual effect of Cosmic Rift. And Dao Chen, Moon's Radiance. So there's been a bunch of notices for little quirks with her. So let's see. Skill optimization. So for Thorned Rose, during Serenade of Hope, continuously grants the 20% damage reduction to allies in range. What's the difference? During a Song of Sorrow, continuously grants up to 20% penetration increase to 2 other, non-healer allies with the highest attack in range. So she used to just any ally could get the Song of Sorrow buff, so she could be giving a penetration increase to your healer. And they did listen to the feedback about this, and they're already fixing that. So non-healers cannot get the Song of Sorrow penetration increase buff. That's amazing news. All right, optimize the issue where summons or traps interfere with commander's hero deployment on their occupied tiles. Interesting. For the following heroes and artifacts, heroes can now be deployed on tiles occupied by their summons or traps. Right, well, forcing the summoner traps to die or be removed. Oh, this is so true. How often do you, if you place like a Sun Wukong first and then you go place someone else and you're like, I can't put the thing. Or it's always been the issue with Wailing Skull. If you want to place that hero first that has it, and he plops the little summon out, then you can't place the hero you really want to place there. You definitely want a hero to have deployment priority over a summon spawning. So very good fix. Very good fix. In the Honors Gauntlet, the matchmaking window was adjusted to 300 hours, 5 to 8, 13 to 16, and 19 to 22. So they have different brackets for matchmaking. I don't know what it was, but that's what it is now. And we don't even have Honors Gauntlet yet. This is the like live PvP. So, right? I think. We don't have that on the other servers yet. All right, Commander's skill balance adjustment. Not so fast effect. Cost recovery for enemy hero. Cost recovery skills reduced by 75%. Untapped potential. Increase the damage bonus for allied heroes against monsters from 60% to 80%. Ace in a hole. Increase true damage from 8%. Wait, commander skill balance. This sounds familiar, but I'm not... I feel like I'm missing something. Ace in a hole. Increase true damage from 8% to... Wait, am I missing something? I'm missing something. I don't know. I'm missing something. I'm probably gonna be like, oh, it means whatever, whatever. It's gonna click later. Or it's something that's only on the Forerunner server. It's been a long day. Maybe I'm just not thinking of what they mean. Okay, others. Fixed an issue where the attack speed was not affecting the rage or regen basic attack in the displayed attributes. The correct rage regen will be shown after the fix. Players will be marked as defeated and unable to take revenge after a certain number of revenge attempts against the same opponent in PvP. Demon soldiers are now available in it. Oh, that's amazing. This will help the boosting issues. So you can't just sit there and repeatedly lose to the same person, allow that one person to boost. You can only lose a couple times or whatever those times may be. And then that's it. That's really good. Boosting should not be allowed. And purposefully losing to your friend to let them, or whatever, you know, to let them go up was definitely a thing. Happens in a lot of games, though. It's hard to avoid. Right, demon soldiers are now available in Dwarven Association. Awakening Shop? Demon soldiers. Something else to spend our coins on. That sounds amazing. Yes. You must own that demon soldier first before purchasing it. So it's upgrades only. I like that. That's really good. All right, resolved an issue where Guild War attack code will be blocked by the chat channel's word filter, and added a hyperlink functionality to attack codes, allowing quick import to the plan storage from chat channels, and added floors oh, no big deal, just casually in here. Added floors 22, 23, and 24 to Gear Raid 1, 2, and 3. Just casually mentioned it, no big deal. Added Phase 6 to the Tower of Deception, where players will face joint assault from Tengu and her demonic forces from the east. Isn't Tengu a dude? Anyway, in mythology, I mean. And Phase 6? What does Phase 6 even mean? Is it just Phase 5, like floor 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30? 30? Is that what that means? And then another hidden chamber? I guess so. Improved the description of demon soldier affiliation with heroes. Increase the bonus provided by awakened legendary lords to affiliated heroes. And Drake's Chasm Abyss 1 difficulty now has its own independent team set up separate from other difficulties. Honestly, this game is doing amazing. We haven't even finished the Tower of Deception, what we can do in the first round of it coming out, and they're already on the other server adding new content. Like, what? What game would do that? Nobody. Anyone that complains about Watcher of Realms content is insane and needs to relax and take a look at what they're really doing. They're doing so good. Floors, they're adding gear raid stages. They're adding so much. Sure, is there going to be lulls where if you beat everything and the first day it comes out you're bored? Yeah, but that's a you problem. People just have to grind for 16 hours to beat something because they feel they, just because they can, but that's not the realistic player content consumption of 95% of players. So it's just the players that are those kind of players are like the loudest, Which I get that games need to cater to all, but do they? No, they don't. If you cater to everyone, you appease nobody in these kind of games. So a game kind of has to also identify with what they are and the audience that they're trying to please, and just accept that that's not going to be every single kind of player at the end of the day. Right? That's something we have to think about too. And while I'm involved with Fateless and Godforge, I realize that more and more with the conversations that I hear. Okay, and then increase the bonus provided by Awaken Legendary Lord Heroes to affiliated demon soldiers. And in Drake's Chasm Abyss 1, difficulty now has its own independent team set up separate from other difficulties. Independent team setup separate from other difficulties? What does that mean? As if the team setup was the same? Doesn't it? I mean, it saves your auto run. I don't know what they mean. Okay, anyway, that was the Forerunner server news. That was a lot, but good stuff. All right, now let's go on to dev insights from the 22nd. We're a couple days late here, and I'm posting this probably another day or two later because there's so much content with the tower. Unfortunately, the tower content doesn't seem to have as much interest, which I think is crazy. The new content came out, and I'm honestly surprised at the lack of, I guess, views as a content creator from that side of things. I'm just like, how are people not watching this? This is like the new content, isn't it? I don't know. It's weird. But I guess there is no sense of urgency like the current events that are happening now, so people are focusing their energy and their efforts on the spire instead of the tower, because the tower's there. It's not going anywhere per se, at least not too quickly, so we have more time to work on that. That's my guess, but anyway, so this came out on the 22nd. All right, question number 2 here. I noticed the fusion heroes don't come back after the event ends. Is there ways to get them? It's not like we will use soul stones on them. Can we get fusions in upcoming months? Oh, that's true, because like if you think of fusions never coming back and you use a bunch of soul stones and then they just add it to the pool later, you feel bad. Like Helga, for example. At first we didn't really know what they were going to do, but then they added her. So if you used a bunch of soul stones on Helga and you don't have a reset, you'd feel bad. Right? So they do clarify, previously introduced fusion heroes will be added to the normal summoning pool in the future. We will also continue introducing hero fusion events. So I would say it's pretty safe to say don't use your soul stones on fusion heroes just because they're more limited, because eventually they'll be added to the pool. Unless you really need something specific and you have a reset on hand still, I wouldn't waste those. Or if you're just rolling in them because your luck is insane. I have a feeling, though, that you would really need those elsewhere. Unless you're, I guess, to be fair, if you are genuinely a super wow, crazy kraken spender, and you have a bunch of soul stones that you don't need because you just fully awakened heroes anyway, because you pull until that happens, then I could see people being impatient and going for maxing out the fusions as well. But that's like a 0.5%, 0.2% of players kind of problem. So there was this really nice but long-winded question here that I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's really just the reply that I want to reiterate. So they will consider adding items that are able to partially alter gear stats in the upcoming versions. It's like, okay, you've got a flat defense, but everything else is perfect. You want the chance that that could roll a crit rate instead or whatever, you know? I like that idea. Hopefully that's what they mean. Alright, so please buff all weaker legendary lords like Elder, King Hars, Morrigan, Demi, Twin Fiend, and Venoma. So, to be fair, Twin Fiend isn't weaker than Soul Cadence per se. They just have different roles. Soul Cadence himself does really good damage. But if you have Twin Fiend and Zillitude together in a good, solid Infernal comp, you're going to get very similar damage. It's not that Twin Fiend... It's just that Soul Cadence is the one who steals more of the damage, per se. Versus Twin Fiend enabling the other heroes to do more damage. At least that's the way that I've seen it so far and heard it discussed. I don't think that's changed that I can think of, but yeah, maybe with Soul Cadence's buff stuff, he has had an adjustment, but still think Twin Fiend has been power crept, but that doesn't mean he's bad. And Morrigan is also not bad. Demi's not bad. She's really good for her role of anti-healing, actually very good. So they're just different type of heroes, I guess I'd say, but maybe Morrigan, it would be nice if she herself did more damage. King Hars definitely feels boring as a tank. Elder, I've heard a lot of wishes to buff, and Venoma as well. I have an Elder, but his Lord skills are good, but he as a hero could be better. And they do say, we have scheduled improvements to Elder and Demi. Other unpopular lords will also be buffed in the future. Oh, and here we go. I zoomed in. This whole time I made this special crop for this. And I didn't even zoom in. Okay, sorry guys. I never switched to the right screen. But anyway, so on behalf of active players battling Abyss 1 and Guild Boss, we kindly ask, please don't weaken this boss. At present, it represents a fair and challenging endgame experience, just as you originally intended. However, after complaints about the difficulty changes have begun, specifically the amount of blood required to defeat the boss was significantly reduced, making it 3 times easier to earn the extra chest. We're concerned that such simplifications may lead to reduced rewards as well, which would negatively impact the motivation and interest of those who are already defeating the boss through effort of well-thought-out strategies. We sincerely ask that you keep Abyss 1 as it is now. It's a worthy challenge for experienced players. With the release of new heroes, there will be more viable paths to victory. A nerf would defeat the entire purpose of this content. I think yes and no. I half agree, half disagree. I think the nerf that they did was good to just make the blood easier or whatever, because at the end of the day, a very well-developed account should be able to do a lower chest, and as long as everyone is doing like the second chest on average, should be able to down the boss. Right? I don't think that should be, as long as people are active and doing it, they shouldn't have to, everyone has to do top chest to double the boss. Or shouldn't have to top chest the boss in order to get the double rewards. I personally don't think so. Anyway. I don't know. But at the same time, it's a weird one because there shouldn't be the reality of you need A5 Kagiri and A5 Sun Wukong to get the top damage, and that's the only answer. That can't be the only answer. If you don't have Sun Wukong or Kagiri on your account, you should be able to erase those two heroes and still make the top thing happen somehow. At least through min-maxing the gear, quirky strategic choices, but it doesn't seem like that's possible, and that's a problem. You can't have one or two heroes be the only answer. That's where the problem is to me. So they have a nice detailed reply here. Thanks for your feedback. We have only made limited adjustments to the Abyss 1 boss, lowering its difficulty by roughly 1%. We decreased 5% of the boss's first two shield strength while keeping its core stats unchanged. There's no change to the difficulty of players inflicting damage to the boss. We only lowered the total amount of damage required for the boss to become seriously injured. We have lowered the boss's difficulty mainly because we want more average skills to obtain rewards. Meanwhile, the rewards obtained by players remain unchanged. We have prepared an even more challenging boss and richer rewards for veteran players. They will soon make a debut. So another, even more challenging with bigger reward, veteran player boss coming soon. On top of Abyss 1. So is this a third guild boss? I don't know. But that's a very interesting comment. Dev Insights are spilling some tea. Oh, and this kind of answers the adjustment to the Forerunner server stuff that I wasn't sure what they meant. Now I see what they mean. So this suggestions a quality of life is splitting Nightmare 4 and Abyss 1 at team comps. I wanted to suggest a small quality of life change that can make a big difference for many players. Consider allowing separate team setups for Nightmare 4 and Abyss 1. Currently, these two modes share the same saved team comp, but they often require very different strategies and hero setups. Splitting them, just like you did with AMR 21 and 22, would make it easier to optimize runs without needing to constantly swap heroes. It's a small tweak that would be a huge help to the community. Thanks for considering it. They say we've finished developing the feature to separate team setups that will be implemented in the next version update. So that's already come to Forerunner server. All right, question 9 says, not a big one, just add Rourke and Eliza and generally Fusion Epic Lords to the Ancient pool for collectors. They say we will add previously introduced event-exclusive epic heroes to the Ancient Summoning in future versions. So they're coming, they just haven't confirmed when. And there's a comment about the drop rates of stuff and what drops in Artifact Material Raid. And they actually clarify that we plan to first increase the drops of Demon Soldier and Demon Captains from Artifact Material Raid in the future. So that should be something that gets a bit better regarding getting more Demon Soldiers. And this is a fun comment about a mini game, which is pretty much a wagon adventure, aka Oregon Trail. If you guys played that when you were a kid in school, raise your hand. I would love a minigame where we lead a party across a dangerous land in a covered wagon. Think survival, resource management, and tough choices. You'd face stuff like snake bites, livestock thieves, wagon damages, or starvation and weather hazards. Players could choose whether to rest, battle, or push forward, each decision affecting the outcome. The further you travel and the more parties members survive, the better the rewards. It'd be an awesome break from regular gameplay and have a fun retro-flavored adventure vibe. A perfect way to add depth and variety without needing complex mechanics. And they said, we will consider these sort of mini games. Someone misses Oregon Trail. So the Hero of the Year voucher from that skin hole event that happened, it was supposed to be June, but I just want to clarify that they are looking at July for the anniversary events, which makes more sense because their anniversary was July. Previously, it did say it would be in June's celebration event, so I thought they were just starting the events early, but it looks like they have adjusted those events to be July. So keep in mind that when it comes to some big anniversary stuff that will come here in the summer. Alrighty, and I guess that's kind of all for Dev Insights for the 20 seconds. There's a whole bunch more, but I don't feel like they were really big news or any big Easter eggs or anything. So we're just going to leave it at that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.